Good morning to everybody but Netflix, who had a... Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of this. There's been various rationales here. They
Mhm.
lost subscribers, is what you're alluding to.
Yeah,
200,000.
200,000.
I think for the first time ever.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, for all the, look, this market is saturated.
Mhm.
I saw somewhere, I didn't read the story, but the war in Ukraine might have contributed to this. They actually have data that shows that their usage hasn't gone down versus the other services, et cetera, et cetera, whatever. But then I saw that line in their shareholder letter, and I said to myself, it's over. It's over. And it's not the line you think, maybe. Oh, maybe it is. I don't know. But they said they compared what was happening to back when they were fighting Blockbuster.
Yep.
Yep. And I was like, oh, it's over. This is not the same thing. Blockbuster was on the way out. I mean, I think it should be. Look, Netflix is, if you had to rate them, I think is the best service possibly by far. I mean, HBO Max has some great content for sure. HBO
Yeah, put them up there with
content.
Disney, but they definitely have more.
And Disney. Well, Disney was the one I was kind of working toward because Disney is what should alarm them because Disney kind of came out of nowhere.
Yep.
Disney's been around for 100 years almost or whatever, but Disney has this backlog of content that now includes Marvel and Star Wars, and that's not everyone's cup of tea for sure. I mean, I love watching men in spandex flying around the sky as much as anybody, but at some point you're like, I need something a little more substantial, something different or whatever. But, and I think Netflix is maybe a little more, is absolutely more adult, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But, it's like they're kind of, Disney's like the Nintendo of the entertainment industry. They're always going to have that niche is never going away, So anyway, interesting.
They also, I don't think it was in the earnings call. I think it was in that same letter. They announced that they will eventually have an ad-supported tier, which really just kind of justifies the race towards the bottom of the pricing on this stuff.
Everyone's doing it. That's the argument there. The other thing they're almost absolutely going to do is have a higher priced family sharing tier because they have, I don't remember the numbers, but some astronomical, like tens of millions of people in the United States and worldwide are just sharing accounts, right? And other services do like a location thing where, if my son's up in college in upstate New York, my daughter might be down in North Carolina at her school. We're all using the same account. We all have little profiles and everything. They're probably going to start charging extra for that, which is great because I already pay them for the highest possible tier they have with the most streams and the most quality. So I can only imagine where it can go from. It's getting close to $20 a month right now, I think. So I just told my wife last night, I said, there's no escaping this. This bill is going to go up. And she's like, what'd they say? And I'm like, no, they didn't say anything. It's just so you know, it's sometimes
they're just sitting there slowly drinking the beer going,
Yeah,
we're not raising prices.
They'll look at the map of the United States. It's like, I see 3 people on the same account are logged in at the same time,
Yeah. So.
Yep. It's going away.
I don't know. As a broader economic outlook, I think what Netflix just announced is going to be more the norm of what we hear from more companies, not necessarily streaming, that like, hey, earnings aren't on a rocket ship. They're kind of starting to
this has become a mature market. The other thing they said, actually, now that we're talking about it, they got a boost from the COVID thing that lasted for a good 2 years. And I don't remember the wording of this. I don't know if Reed Hastings writes these things or who does this, but whoever it was said something to the tune of, this hid problems that we didn't understand were there. And now we're going to address those. And the problems were the things we already talked about. But it's interesting that something like that, which was a boon to so many tech companies and entertainment companies, unless you're a movie company, was, is temporary. It's obvious in retro. I mean, of course, we all knew that. But I mean, it sort of let them coast for a while, maybe.
Yep. Which made me think about Microsoft's earnings are Tuesday, April 26th. So a week from yesterday. Yeah.
Well, and, in our little corner of the woods, we noticed things like they used to just they still do pile features on Teams, but they're really starting to come out with little paid offerings now, aren't they?
Yep.
Like there's, I feel like stuff like Microsoft Viva was something that might not have happened as a standalone paid service or set of services. And they were like, we need to figure something out here. So they kind of did that. And I think we're going to see more of that kind of stuff. Just, it's like when you sign up for Hulu and you can add HBO Max, you can add, Showtime, whatever the things are. This is what Microsoft 365 is. It's like, do you want the full buffet or do you just want the little part of it over there in the corner? So, it's.
And if you weren't confused enough by Microsoft branding, they introduced another one yesterday.
Yeah.
Purview. Not, I would.
I know.
Not PureView from Nokia, but Purview.
Not Preview.
Yes. P-U-R
Purview.
View. For,
it is within my purview to rate this name as poor. As I wrote in the notes for Windows Weekly today. Are we just running out of names now?
Yeah, I was kind of wondering that too.
Like, what do we got what do we get that starts with Q? Anything? It's just.
Yeah. Anyways, that's replacing a lot of their defender.
Data governance, right?
On that
two chilliest words in tech.
Data governance, that defending thingy area stuff going on, Purview, whatever.
But actually, I think Purview is actually very much like Viva. I think it is a collection of things that already existed. In this case, it absolutely is. And, they probably add a couple things. And, we'll call it something and we'll charge extra for it.
Yep.
And it's like, okay. I mean, like I said, this is going to be the way Microsoft goes now. It's all about the monthly subscription fee they can get,
Yeah, the interesting thing, and I'd be curious if anybody listening to this works in a place like this, because it's not necessarily explicit to Stardock or wherever else. I've heard it other places too, is that if you're an IT professional and you're looking to buy a service, it is easier for management typically to justify a new company with a new service than to give Microsoft more money because you're already leveraging so much in that direction or lobbying so much.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have answers. I just have observations. I don't know how Microsoft fixes this. I think one of the interesting things about Microsoft 365 is how much they have added, honestly, over time. A lot of the new stuff to me takes the form of kind of a web app, which I think makes it semi-non-discoverable to most people, honestly. I think that's one of the big issues. Remember when they did the ribbon in Office and the rationale was the top 10 feature requests, 8 of them are already in the product. People just don't know they're there. Now they do this, they have this kind of issue with Microsoft 365 where it's we need some kind of a, whatever. And it's it's in the web portal. And it's a web portal. I just use Word and Excel or whatever. It's a weird problem. I mean, I think they've done a good job keeping it competitive. And certainly it's not like Google Docs has made any huge inroads or whatever. Google Workspace. Whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not defending what Microsoft's doing. I don't feel bad for them. I don't mean it like that, but it's an interesting problem, I guess, a computer science problem, perhaps a marketing problem.
Yeah. If anybody's, there's only one product that I know that uses SMB1. I'm sure there's more out there. And I don't even know if it still does use it. Sonos used to use SMB1. And I don't know if they still do or not. I do not know. But Windows 11, it's just about completely gone from the Microsoft ecosystem over here. So.
Yeah, I mean, 10 years after it should have been, but sure. Yeah. So that's an insider build, right? So presumably 22H2, we'll see that. I don't think this will impact almost anybody. There'll be those random people that, like you said, you have a legacy NAS or something, and they're like, "Hey, how come I can't hit the NAS anymore?" You'll be able to turn it on, just like you can do other stuff to harm your computer, I guess, if you want to. But
and that's
it's up to you.
Other than DuckDuckGo blocking AMP, which I'm fully in support of. AMP is terrible.
Yeah, Brave is doing the same, and I think you're going to see all of the company, Vivaldi, all the browser makers, other than Microsoft. Actually, I bet Microsoft doesn't block it, and Google, obviously.
Yep, yeah. Google needs to just back off of AMP because it
needs to back off a lot of things.
Yes, they do, really do.
They won't.